analytics now, the way the game has changed. We've seen a lot of young pitchers really strive more and more of a young pitcher's game. And we've seen a lot of the veteran pitchers that have normally been good. I'm a Mets fan, so we had a bunch of them on our team that have really struggled in their series against the Padres. Do you see that kind of transformation changing where it's becoming more of a younger pitchers league, even with some of the other top guys like Verlander still in Cy Young conversations?
Yeah, I think all over, right? It's definitely a younger's man's game for sure, and then obviously your older guys, as you know, they just know their craft and they know how to make adjustments. And that's what this thing's all about, you know what I mean? Especially when you're playing a 7-game series, right? You can make those adjustments, and you got to make those adjustments on the fly even more, especially at that level, where that's why they're where they're at. Curious to see how Noel is going to pitch some of those guys, Soto and those guys, because he had kind of the same tendencies. And then is he going to stick with that tendency or not, right? Are they going to make those adjustments?
I'm watching the game. Obviously, Altuve threw a terrible ball to first base. Now it's man on first and second. You have Giancarlo Stanton. You have Aaron Judge on first and second right now. 2 outs. And now they're finally getting his pitch count. I mean, it's almost at 20 pitches. That's what you want to do. You want to get in each inning 20 to 25 pitches. So in probably the 5th or 6th inning they pull him, and then you let them go to the bullpen, and whichever bullpen pitches better wins the game. So I want to see this, and Josh Donaldson's up, so I think this is automatic out. So get ready for it. As everybody knows, we are talking to Elon assistant baseball coach Jerry Oaks. So I'm not very excited about that. So you say that you're a Philadelphia guy. What were your thoughts of Philadelphia really surprising the world coming out of the wild card game, then coming out and knocking off a Braves team that everybody expected to go all the way with the talent that they had, the pitching staff? They were the hottest team in baseball in the second half. What were your thoughts to Philadelphia doing what they did and what they're doing right now in this series?
Yeah, I don't think it's surprising, to be honest, right? I think they've made some quality trades at the deadline there to add some pieces to make it just right. Instead of 1 through 5, it's 1 through 8, and I think that's really done a great job. They added some pieces. I was talking to somebody the other day. They got some of those guys out of bullpens I've never even heard of, and they're pretty nasty, So I just think they just have added some quality pieces, and I really like Thompson. I think he just keeps those guys level, especially when you have that many superstars. You got to have a manager that's capable of doing that. I just watched them earlier in the season, and you watch them now. That's a whole different team. They're gluing at the right time. I think they have enough superstars that have enough experience that. Like I said, I think they can win it for sure.
Oh, all 4 teams could win it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So for both the Phillies and the Yankees, one X factor, a lesser known player that you think will have a big impact in order for them to win that particular series.
By the way, Josh Donaldson struck out. Not surprising.
Of course.
Stinks, man. He stinks. $25 million down the damn drain. He's horrible. He's lucky he could play a decent third base. The Yankees need to get rid of him at the end of the season. He is absolutely atrocious. He's a guaranteed out in this series, in the last couple of series. He stinks.
Yeah.
He stinks.
I never thought he was a great player.
No.
He had that good year, but
steroids. That's
going back to that question, I think if Harper continues to stay hot, to me, I think he can make or break things in a lot of ways. Just because you got to really, pitch around him, and he can just hurt you in so many ways.
I would love to see Bryce Harper win a championship.
Yeah.
Because every national fan made fun of him after he left. He signed with Philadelphia. They win a World Series, and he never had the chance to experience winning a World Series when he was a big part of that organization all those years. Now he's on Philadelphia. Nobody in their wildest dreams thought they were going to be where they are today. And honestly, Bryce Harper was hurt a lot of the season. He came back in the second half, and he got a little hot in the second half. And Philadelphia, with firing Joe Girardi, which was the best move. And I'm going to say this, and I don't know if you listen to our show enough, Yankee fans have attacked Brian Cashman ever since they let go of Joe Girardi and they went with Aaron Boone. And I've said this many, many times. Aaron Boone, in his first 5 years, has more wins than any professional baseball manager in history. In history. And And for what he has done with this team, he's gone to now 2 ALCSs. He hasn't won yet. If he wins, to me, it's not even an argument. Joe Girardi leaves. They bring in another ex-Yankee coach and ex-Yankee. He's doing everything right, and Joe Girardi did everything wrong. And they're, 3 games away from, or 3 games away from going to the World Series. So what does that tell you about Joe Girardi? That's what it tells me. Joe Girardi will never manage in baseball again, Tyler, and all those Yankee fans that wanted him as the Yankee manager. And I'm not taking shots at Joe. I like Joe. Joe's a nice guy. He really is. I met him twice. Very sincere, nice guy. He is not a good manager. He's just not. If he doesn't have a good bullpen, he can't win. And you saw that with the Yankees. Their bullpen got old. The Yankees started not to win. That's just the way it is. And you see Aaron Boone. He's what is he, gluing pieces together in that bullpen, and they're winning. So he's a horrible manager. Never management experience. Never managed before in coaching. I mean, he's never coached before. He's never done it in the minors. He never did in college. This guy was talking on ESPN with Alex Rodriguez. And this guy has more wins than any manager in history in 5 years. And he's won, a couple of games away from going to another World Series.
Ironically, Tyler also wanted A-Rod as the manager, too.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's a joke, okay?
Phillies
I'm
get
just
rid of
tired of Yankee fans. I'm a Yankee fan. I'm tired
I
of
was
them.
going to say, that's just typical Yankee.
I want to throw up, man. Every time I listen to a Yankee fan, I only thought Naylor was so funny when he was cradling or whatever the heck he was doing with the baby, and he was doing it to Garrett Cole when he hit that home run. Nevertheless, the Yankees still won that game, and then the Yankee fans were doing it to him every time he struck out. So I mean, and he says, if you read his whole thoughts after the game, he says, it's great to be a bad guy. It's great to go into Yankee Stadium and everybody hates you. You think that's great? I mean, Pedro laughs at it all the time, but Pedro didn't like being hated. And by the way, who was his daddy? So anyways, we are talking to Elon's assistant baseball coach, Jerry Oaks. One more question for me, Jerry. I know you're a busy guy. When you think of baseball and you look at all these different players that have come out of the draft and really been successful and guys that just weren't successful, is there a particular player that you thought that when they were drafted, they were going to be hands down a great player that just really didn't turn out to be that player? And was there a player that you don't even know why he was drafted in that position and became a great player in the majors? Is there any particular player or 2 players that you remember that became those, in those positions?
I can't really think of any of them. I'm trying. I'm going blank right now. The kid from Louisville got drafted a couple years ago by Tampa Bay. He was a 2-way guy.
Speedy, you know who he's talking about?
No, I'll figure it out.
Anyway, I thought he would have a long career.
Brendan McKay, is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. Brandon McKay.
Yeah, I recognize the name.
Went first round to, I think it's Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably one guy. Trying to think. Yeah, it's a tough question.
Yeah.
I'm a little biased, but I had a kid this year got caught up with the Marlins, Charles LeBlanc.
Mm-hmm.
He's done great for his first year, which I knew he was good, and obviously proud of him because recruited the guy. But it's one guy that I would say I wouldn't expect him to have that much success that fast. I would say, I knew he was good, but he had a really good year.
So my last question is, you were also a minor league baseball player. You were bumped around, I think, 5 different organizations from 2001 to 2007. So do you have a good story, a good moment from any of those minor league games, any of those minor league experiences?
Yeah, I mean, I had a no-hitter with me and Dontrelle Willis. I gave up a solo spot, and he ended up throwing a no-hitter, actually. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, once again, right, when you play for so long, you're just thankful for the opportunity more than anything and be able to play as long as I did. But I've played with so many big leaguers, and it's crazy. I look back at some of the guys in my roommates, some of them could be in the Hall of Fame here soon. Take it all in, But I would say some of the games I pitched over on the big league side where, first guy I faced was Edgar Martinez. And, those moments are pretty cool. I remember calling my family and remember talking to my uncle, and you just realize how proud people are, but they're the moments you remember, more than anything. You probably remember more of the locker room stuff than you do playing.
Yeah, I know because when I
Those
played hockey and and I was playing for Team USA hockey and all that other stuff. I remember all the relationships that I had and all the crazy stories that I remember when I was traveling with those teams. But I don't remember some of the games because I was hit so hard. But anyways, before we let you go, I could tell you that this is going to be a very bad game for the Yankees because Teone has not found the strike zone, and when he does, he's throwing it right down the middle, and that's why he has one out, and Pena hits a double. I mean, it was pretty much if he couldn't have hit it better than that unless he hit it out of the park, and now they're facing Alvarez, who, if you pitch it anywhere around the strike zone, that's why he's pitching outside of the strike zone. He's going to smack it into the another hemisphere. So,
what inning is it? The second inning?
First inning. He's in
Bottom
trouble.
of the first inning. Pena
That's
doubled
the
now.
Yankee fan.
Yeah, Alvarez just walked. Now Bregman's up.
The typical Yankee fan. Teone, you could tell when Teone is on, and you're a pitcher. You know all about that stuff. Yeah, you could tell when.
Inning.
Yeah, but you know when a pitcher's on and when he's not on, and you could see the way he's pitching and he's aiming. He's not throwing. You could tell he's aiming for the strike zone. He's not trusting in his pitches and his ability. And when that happens, it's a cry of help. So. I don't know. I'm not very excited about this game, and now you have Bregman on. Good luck. Anyways, Jerry, we really appreciate you, and we'll definitely get you on a lot quicker than a couple of years. I'm sorry, but we're very happy to have you on. You're a fellow blood brother / brother from another mother, and maybe we'd be twins, if we came from the same womb, but we're not. But you have 5 kids, and I have none, so it's 5-0 you. Okay, so we really appreciate you as always. Good luck on your endeavors over there in Elon. I hope everything goes well for you, and eventually you become a manager. You deserve it, and maybe you'll be managing in the majors more sooner than later.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Oh, my God, you got to see this Aaron Judge catch, man. Ridiculous. What a lucky you-know-what. But anyways, thank you. And if you do become a manager in the majors, just remember you can hire one of us to be your, first base or third base coaches because we do know baseball.
You got it, brother.
I'm just kidding. We'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, guys. Take care, man.